Hi, this is Jerry Eliff. I play Tiffany Teagarden on Twisted Pulp Radio Hour. Please support your local community radio station. Without you as listeners, we couldn't air our show on KKRN 88.5 FM. Thank you.
Warning, this material is for mature audiences. This is the Twisted Pulp Radio Hour.
The Ninth Tower Productions.
Rocket 88 Production.
That's right. Now who's laughing at me for being named Mary, huh, world? Now, if I connect these wires, white and blue. Oops, nope. Last time I scorched my scrotum. White with orange. Then the green with the red.
Doctor!
Jesus behooses! How many times have I told you?
Never mind that. I found someone in the basement.
Is it my hero?
No, it's not Gary Coleman.
What are you talking about, Willis? 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 That fellow breaks me up!
Yeah, sure. Whatever you say.
Good God!
No, but close. The name is John Collier, writer of fantasies, mysteries of the night, and often very ironic stories.
Didn't you write the Bond series? Why did the bad guy always have to die? You've got something against maniac scientists?
You're shaped like a pumpkin. I like men shaped like pumpkins.
How did you get here, Mr. Collier? Spaceship? Time machine, maybe?
If only, my good man. If only. No, I had been summoned here by this radio station to do an interview, to promote my latest story collection when I was lured down to the basement by a very small man with red hair, who claimed he had gold at the end of a rainbow. Naturally, I followed him. That was in 1950.
You've been down there since then? My God, you missed the Atari Revolution!
My dear, your idiot brother here should be institutionalized. I hear they do wonders with those with a twisted nerve.
I don't envy you.
Ugh, I envy him. I could eat him up on a plate of envy.
Oh. Tiffany, what is tonight's programming?
Tonight, we have a wonderful reading of Mr. Collier's story, The Chaser. You may remember that famous Twilight Zone TV episode where a young Richard Nixon date rapes a chimpanzee.
That was adapted for television. I never received a check.
This production comes from the multi-talented Jack Ward and his Electric Vicuña production company. Check out Jack Ward's wonderful Sonic Society, curating the best audio dramas. He also has the Mutual Audio Network. Hey, that spells man.
It's a miracle the young lady can spell.
I was thinking the same thing, actually.
I can dress, or if you prefer, undress, all by myself, too. Also, we have an episode of Blood Noir adapting Mr. Collier's story. Thus, I refute Beelzy.
Join Sergeant Strangler's priesthood. Get drunk, get laid, and kick ass, just like Jesus did.
Well, I'm not a crook. 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 Crook. Well, I'm crook. Well, I'm crook. Well, I'm crook. Well, I'm...
Tiffany! Why are you naked?
I don't remember. Oh, yeah. I took Mr. Collier to the basement.
No, you didn't!
Didn't what? What?
Have relations with him.
No. What kind of a girl do you think I am? I just had sex with him. Then he fell in a sinkhole.
Storms come in all shapes and sizes, striding through swollen puddles. In a dismal downpour, Alan Austin, as nervous as a kitten, tumbled up a certain dark and creaky stairs in the neighborhood of Pell Street. Alan was the kind of man who always seemed about to tumble anywhere, everywhere, all at once. Through the curtain of rain, Alan peered for a long time on the dim landing before he found the name he wanted written obscurely on one of the doors. Down the crooked hallway, like an abandoned bowling lane with wooden floorboards once brightly polished, now as cancerous as an old man's leg, the last of the 3 6s had long since fallen off, leaving a marred stain behind. He pushed open the apartment door, as he had been told to do, and found himself shaking and patting off the wet in his coat. He unfastened all the buttons, but didn't remove the coat, finding nowhere to hang it. The tiny room contained no furniture other than a plain kitchen table, a rocking chair, and an ordinary chair. A dozen bottles and jars sat on one of the shelves that were pressed against the dirty buff-colored walls. Sitting in the rocking chair, an old man, older than time itself, was reading a newspaper.
Excuse me?
Yes.
I was told that you can help me.
Yes.
Oh, right, the card. I have it right here.
I don't need it back, Alan. I'd rather new clients kept my cards. You never know when someone else might need my services or may require something different. And just as you've been given my calling card, you can provide it to them. Have a seat. Go ahead. Pull the chair over here from the card table.
Okay, nice place you have here.
It serves its purposes.
Yeah, I don't mean to be rude.
Impossible. I value exactness, not tactness.
I had to have another look. You see, you said a card table, but to me that looks like a kitchen table. In fact, it looks a lot like the table I had as a child.
I suppose many things can have dual purposes. Maybe some people eat at such a table. I enjoy games of chance.
Oh, do you run a regular card game?
Of a sort.
Win often?
Games of chance are only truly fun when all the odds are stacked in the house's favor. But tell me, Alan, what brings you here?
Is it true?
True. I think you'll find truth is not an exact science. And I told you, I deal in exactness of all things.
Is it true that you have a certain mixture that has quite extraordinary effects?
My dear sir, my stock in trade is not very large. I don't deal in laxatives and teething mixtures. But such as it is, my aperitifs are varied. I think nothing I sell has effects which could be precisely described as ordinary.
Well, I mean, the fact is,
For example, here is a liquid as colorless as water, almost tasteless, quite imperceptible in coffee, wine, or any other beverage. It is also quite imperceptible to any known method of autopsy.
Do you mean it's a poison? Because I'm not looking for anything like that.
Call it a glove cleaner if you like. Maybe it'll clean gloves. I've never tried. One might call it a life cleaner. Lives need cleaning sometimes.
Oh, I want nothing of that sort.
So you say. Probably it's just as well. Do you know the price of this?
I couldn't imagine.
No, I'll bet you couldn't. For 1 teaspoonful of this intoxicant, which is sufficient, I ask $5,000. Never less.
What?
Not a penny less.
Well, I hope all your mixtures aren't as expensive, or the man who gave me your card has wasted both of our times.
Oh dear, no. It would be no good charging that sort of price for a love potion, for example. Young people who need a love potion very seldomly have $5,000. Otherwise, they wouldn't need a love potion.
You have no idea how glad I am to hear this.
I look at it this way. Please a customer with one item, and he'll come back when he needs another. Even if it is more costly. He will save up for it, if necessary.
So, you really do sell love potions?
If I did not sell love potions, I should not have mentioned the other matter to you. It is only when one is in a position to oblige that one can afford to be so confidential, after all. Ah, here it is.
These potions, they aren't just, you know...
Oh no. Their effects are permanent and extend far beyond the mere casual impulse. But they include it. Oh yes, they include it. Bountifully, insistently, everlastingly.
Dear me. Oh, how very exciting.
But consider the spiritual side.
Oh, I do. I most certainly do, yes.
For indifference, the elixir substitutes devotion. For scorn, adoration, give one tiny measure of this to the young lady. Its flavor is imperceptible in orange juice soup or cocktails. And however gay and giddy she is, she will change altogether. She will want nothing but solitude and you.
I can hardly believe it. She is so fond of parties.
Oh, she will not like them anymore. She will, in point of fact, be afraid of the pretty girls you may meet.
She will actually be jealous? Of me?
Yes. She will want to be everything to you.
Well, she is already, only she doesn't care about it.
Oh, she will when she has taken this. She will care intensely. You will be her sole interest in life.
Wonderful.
She will want to know all you do, all that has happened to you during the day, every word of it. She will want to know what you are thinking about, why you smile suddenly, why you are looking so sad.
That is love.
Yes, how carefully she will look after you. She will never allow you to be tired, to sit in a draft, to neglect your food. If you are an hour late, she will be terrified. She will think you're killed or that some siren has caught you.
Oh, I can hardly imagine Diana like that.
Oh, you'll not have to use your imagination. And by the way, since there are always sirens, if by chance you should, later on, slip a little, you need not worry. She will forgive you. In the end, she'll be terribly hurt, of course, but she will forgive you in the end.
That will not happen.
Of course not. But if it did, you need not worry. She would never divorce you. Oh, no. And of course, she will never give you the very least grounds for uneasiness.
And how much is this wonderful filter?
It is not as dear as the glove cleaner, or life cleaner as I sometimes call it. No, that is $5,000, never a penny less. One has to be older than you are to indulge in that sort of thing. One has to save up for it.
But the love potion?
Oh, this? It's just $1.
Just $1?
That's what I said, and it's overpriced as it is.
Sold, dear sir, sold. I got 35, 60, 80, 95, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3 more pennies. Make $1. I can't tell you how grateful I am. I
like to oblige. Here, don't drop it. I find that satisfied customers come back later in life when they are better off and want more expensive things. Remember, give this tiny vial. I know it doesn't look like much, but give it all to your young lady. Its flavor is imperceptible in orange juice soup or cocktails, and you will find it very effective.
Thank you. I'll be on my way. Goodbye.
Au revoir.
Exit Alan Austin, a man whose mission to this empty part of town is complete. A young man who never asked how the old man in the apartment knew his name and never once asked for his in return. Alan Austin, whose joy knows no bounds. Joy that is only momentarily forgotten as he flips his coat collar up to rebuff the gathering wind along the street. The rain has let up, but there are still storm clouds mounting in the distance. He doesn't understand why, but the dark clouds on the horizon give him a brief feeling of unease in his stomach, a passing shiver that is overwhelmingly drowned in his love for Diana. His Diana. A little skip in his gait, giddiness in his heart, and the certainty, oh, how certain he is, that he'll never return to this dingy street again.
You've just listened to The Chaser by John Collier. Audio adaptation written by Jack J. Ward. Post-produced and mixed by Scott Mosher, with original music by Sharon B. Starring Joe Stofko as the narrator, Jeffrey Adams as Alan Austin, and introducing Carlos Mendoza as the Old Man. The Chaser is a part of the Dark Musings anthology. This has been an Electric Vicuna production.
Hey, this is Tiffany Teagarden. You're listening to Twisted Pulp Radio Hour on listener-supported KKRN Community Radio, 88.5 FM. Thank you for tuning in.
Brace yourself. You're listening to Twisted Pulp Radio Hour.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Rocket 88 Production.
Blood Noir is a crime and horror anthology show. Stories about people caught in desperate times and only have one way out.
I'm sure you're wondering why you received this tape from a random stranger. But is it really random? Am I really a stranger? Or are we connected in some way to a web of lies and deceit? Possibly murder? You see, I hear things, see things. I know everything. To protect myself, I need these stories to be told.
Simon? Eat your breakfast.
I don't want to.
I am not going to repeat myself.
I don't like oatmeal, Mom. I want chewy scribbles.
You can't eat cereal for breakfast every morning.
Why not?
Simon, eat your breakfast.
But you didn't say why.
No, I sure didn't, did I? I want you to eat oatmeal because it's getting cold outside. When you walk to school, your body will get cold. And when you've had something hot, it helps to fight the cold inside your body.
It does?
Just eat your breakfast, Simon.
I'm not hungry.
Suit yourself. Go hungry. I don't care. At 10 o'clock in class, you'll get hungry.
Mr. Beelzy said I didn't have to do nothing I don't want to do.
Now is not the time to bring up an imaginary friend.
He's not.
Enough! Get your books and start walking, young man. You'll be late for school. Go, I said. Don't give me dirty looks. We'll have a chat with your father when he gets home. Now go. I just can't handle this by myself. Damn it, Simon. Why does he act up when you're gone? Coming! Oh, Carol.
Hi, Kim. You busy?
Not at all. Come in. Would you like a cup of coffee?
Sure.
I bought this yesterday. I like it. It has chicory in it.
Thanks.
I mostly bought it for myself.
It's good.
I know Big Simon won't like it. He's so particular.
Oh, tell me about it. Larry is the same way. Has to have his steak well done, his tea with 1,000 sugar stirred 100 times.
Jeez, that is particular.
When does Big Simon come home?
Today. At least he said that yesterday. This trucking company is really good to him. The pay is very good. I just
don't like it he's gone as much.
Yeah.
Hey! When he comes back, let's have dinner. We'll go to Charlie's and have a few drinks.
Hey, that's a good idea. Yeah, we can definitely do that. It's Simon.
I'm sure it's good news.
Hello?
Hey, honey.
Hey, just thinking of you.
Looks like I'm heading home.
Oh, that's wonderful. We miss you so much.
I miss you guys, too. I guess little Simon is at school by now?
He just left about 10 minutes or so ago.
I was hoping to catch him and wish him a good day at school. Say, I was thinking if Saturday we'd take him to the zoo.
Oh, that sounds fun. I think he would love that. Oh, hey, Carol wants to know if we'd step out with her and Larry. Dinner at Charlie's.
Hell yeah. Have a steak and a few drinks. Now that's a homecoming. Okay, honey, here's my turn-off. Should be home about 5.
Can't wait for you to come home.
Good. See you when I get there.
Bye, honey. Whew, he'll be here at 5.
Oh, good. I'll call Larry and tell him our date is on.
Come back and we'll work in the community garden.
Oh, of course. That's why I came over. Silly me. I have some roses for us to plant.
Mrs. Lawson will like that.
I'll be back.
Thank God, Simon is coming home. He can handle little Simon for a bit.
Mr. Beelzy, can we go into the store and buy some candy with your magic coins? Well, we can go to a different store where they don't know us. I don't understand why they got mad and chased us. You paid with your magic coins.
Listen to him. He's still talking to himself.
I think he's talking to no one.
Not true. I'm talking to Mr. Beelzy.
Listen, you little snot. We followed you all the way from school and we haven't seen anyone you're talking to.
Who is he? The Invisible Man?
I think he's just crazy.
Just because you dimwits can't see him doesn't make Mr. Beelzy pretend.
You still play pretend?
I bet he plays with dolls, too.
So does this Mr. Beelzy like to play with dolls, too?
I bet he wears a dress.
He doesn't wear clothes, you dimwits. A shirt wouldn't fit over his wings.
Wings? Your pretend friend is a fairy?
You really are thick.
Hey, what does that mean?
He means you're stupid.
Is that what you're saying? Huh? Hey, get off me!
Yeah, get off him!
Ow! Oh, you bit my nose! Ah, you little creep!
Your nose, it's bleeding a lot. Come on, let's go before he bites me.
We'll get you, you creep!
It wasn't me. Guys, it wasn't me. It was Mr. Beelzy.
Thank you for coming in, Mrs. Duncan.
What's Simon done now?
What hasn't he done? Besides his work, I mean. I don't know what to do here, Mrs. Duncan. He is worse than our last meeting.
You have to understand, Miss Hill. I'm by myself more now. My husband drives a truck and is gone more than he used to be.
I understand that. Our school does offer counseling.
I know it's not free.
No, I'm afraid it's not. For someone like Simon, it would be costly.
I can't afford to pay much more to this school. It is a good school, but private tutoring was costly and it did not help.
I believe it was no fault of Jenny Squire. To let you know, she has not returned to the school or has been found anywhere. I'm sorry. I don't think Simon should come back to our school, Miss Duncan.
Well, no, he has to.
I hear Crossway Academy has an opening.
That's a school for troubled children.
I'm sorry.
I bet you're relieved Big Simon is coming home.
Oh, yes. Very glad, I have to say. I'm not a fan of loneliness. Sometimes I crave dialogue between adults, and not from a TV.
Oh, I know what you mean. It was like that when Shelley was little and Larry worked as a bread vendor. Sometimes he didn't get home until 9 o'clock. By the time he came home, I was dead asleep, having to get up early to get Shelley up for school, and he'd be gone to start his route again. Simon seems to get along really well with little Simon.
Yes. They do have a special bond.
Do you ever think sometimes Simon may be too hard on little Simon?
I used to. Yes, sometimes. Lately, little Simon needs someone to be hard on him. I'm not really that person. Little Simon is a handful, and he needs someone to make him respect their authority.
Little Simon seems like a normal boy, full of nervous energy. Maybe he needs a sport.
Oh, yes. That has been the center of my arguments with Simon. He wants little Simon to try out for football. I say no. He'll get hurt. Pass me the rose bush. I think Simon is a little disappointed that little Simon is not as tough as he'd like him to be. His idea of a boy. You know what I mean.
Yeah, I think I do. Maybe that's the way Big Simon remembers himself as a boy.
Oh, tell me about it. So tired of those stories of what he did when he was a boy. When I was a boy, we turned the TV off and played out in the woods, making forts and fishing with string and tree limb. Ugh, jeez.
Hey, Kim? There's something over by the fountain.
I don't see. Oh, is it a hat?
Oh my God!
That's Mrs. Lawson's cat.
Poor thing. Looks like it's been skinned.
I saw her cat out here yesterday evening while little Simon was playing. I left him out here with that poor creature.
You don't think?
I don't think little Simon killed the cat. I know he killed it.
Kim! Hey, Kim! I'm home!
Simon! You're home early! You said by 5. It's just now 3.
I rushed the rig. The roads were generous, no cops around.
How many diners and how many waitresses did you flirt with?
Not many, honey. The food was always too greasy and the waitresses too ugly.
Oh, Simon! How are you?
Not bad, Carol. For a guy who just drove a couple thousand miles, not bad. How's Larry the cat?
He's fine. Never stops complaining.
If he does, then you know something is wrong.
Why do you call him Larry the cat?
A few years ago, we went out and was walking the streets late at night. A cat jumped out in front of us, and Larry nearly jumped out of his skin. I call him that to needle him.
Well, I just started supper. How does baked salmon and roasted potatoes sound?
I'd say it sounds mighty good, little lady.
Stick that little lady bit in your ass.
Where's little Simon? I'd like to give him the candy he asked for.
Little Simon doesn't deserve a present.
Huh?
Maybe I should go.
No, Carol, it's fine.
It's not fine, Simon. Your son needs to see a professional, or we're going to have problems.
What are you talking about?
Little Simon has peculiar habits.
Like what? Not washing behind his ears?
Carol and I were working in the community garden today.
Okay. Lil Simon!
We planted the roses I told you we would get.
Okay, Kim. Get on with it. What's wrong? Lil Simon!
Oh, Simon. Horrible. What we found
Lil Simon!
was just horrible.
Simon, we found Mrs. Lawson's cat. The poor animal was dead. It had been skinned.
Yes, Father?
How do you know it was Lil Simon?
I saw him last in the garden playing with the cat. After we found the carcass, I searched his room. The skin was nailed to the wall by the window.
Is it still there?
No, I threw it out. I couldn't bear to see it a second longer.
Lil Simon. Call me Father? You know to call me Big Simon.
Yes, Big Simon?
Isn't that better? Big Simon and Lil Simon.
I suppose so.
Simon, we need to address the situation at hand.
Lil Simon.
Yes, Big Simon.
I need to know something.
All right.
Your mother found a dead cat.
It was skinned alive. I'm sure of it.
Okay, skinned. Did you kill Mrs. Lawson's cat?
No.
See, Kim? Boy says he didn't do it.
Then who did? Come on, little Simon. Tell Big Simon who hurt Mrs. Lawson's cat.
Mr. Beelzy did. Well, that stupid cat hissed at me. All I wanted was to pet him, and his hair raised up, and he hissed at me. And Mr. Beelzy doesn't like anyone to hurt me.
Mr. Beelzy is not real, Lil Simon.
Oh, yes, he is. Mr. Beelzy is real, and I love him.
Now, Lil Simon, you know that Mr. Beelzy is only make-believe. Make-believe things cannot be real. They cannot hurt cats, and they cannot sneak downstairs and steal cookies, and they cannot break plates in the kitchen, nor can they spill paint on Big Simon's work shirt.
He does exist. He doesn't like it when people deny he exists. He says one day everyone will know his fury.
Is this real?
Let go of my shirt!
Simon!
Please don't hurt him.
You go upstairs and you wait for me.
Simon?
Kim, let me handle this.
I think I should go.
No, Carol. Please stay. It'll be fine. He's just going to talk to little Simon, that's all.
Big Simon won't hurt me. Mr. Beelzy won't let him. Mr. Beelzy said he will come like a lion with wings and eat them up. No one will hurt me. Ever.
Something has to be done.
Simon, go easy.
I need to go.
Please, Carol, stay. It'll blow over in a few minutes.
I think after this instance, Lil Simon won't even say the name Mr. Beelzy.
I thought the roses we planted worked out well in the community garden.
Good God! He's hurt the boy!
No one should be treated like that!
What has happened? He's gone! There's nothing left of Big Simon, except...
Big Simon's foot! Still in his shoe!
I told you Mr. Beelzy would come, like a lion, with wings.
Blood Noir, Episode 13, Mr. Beelzy, featuring Pete Lutz as the stranger, Rhonda Mitchell as Kim, McKenna DeYoung as Little Simon, Pete Lutz as Big Simon, Laurie E. Smith as Carol, Sharon Bloomberg as Miss Hill, Bailey Roberts as Gary, Donovan Strain as Brian. Music by Carpenter's Notch, based on the infamous story Thus I Refute Beelzy by John Collier. Written and directed by Mark Slade. Blood Noir theme by Carpenter's Notch and Audionautics.com. Credit narration by Rhonda Mitchell.
This was Rocket 88 Production.
Yes?
Oh, hi. My name is Hannah Bay. From the Gazette Times. The newspaper. You called us, remember?
Ah, yes, of course. Come inside, please. My name is Ordell Seether. I run this organization.
Yes, so you've said on the phone. A secret organization that has controlled all media and manipulated all history for more than 100 years. Look, I'm not big into conspiracy theories, so I'm having a hard time believing your claims.
And what claims were they?
Well, you said that you are a part of an organization calling themselves Wormwood Prophets Society, and you worship a godlike creature that has been slowly taking over humanity.
I said that? I do not believe I would say such a thing.
Look, you called me, mister. You made these crazy accusations. I have you on tape claiming you helped spin history. That you helped Hitler in World War II, the same time helping the Allies. I think it's baloney, but my editor sent me out here anyway.
Yes, I believe you are right. I did say those things.
You said you have proof that God exists.
Yes, I do. If you would step this way.
What the hell is that thing?
Drink in his beauty. Marvel at his intelligence.
Why is he in a tank of water?
Listen to the stories he spins. Believe the truths he tells.
I can't take my eyes off of it.
He is forever nameless to his people, but we call him Wormwood, and we are his prophets.
I can't take my eyes off of it.
Wormwood Prophets Society features stories by Mark Slade, Jason Norton, T. Fox Dunham, K.E. Moore, Phil Thomas, and D.W. Gillespie, with art by Chris L. Burke. This strange and bizarre anthology is published by Rogue Planet Press and can be found on Lulu.com and other outlets that sell books.
Twisted Pulp Radio Hour, your host was Dr. Mary Von Rocket Sprocket, played by Lothar Tuppen. Your co-host was Miss Tiffany Teagarden, played by Jerry Elliff. Episode written by Mark Slade. Theme music by Tim Slade. End music by Chauncey Hayworth. Produced by Mark Slade, Lothar Tuppen, and Chauncey Hayworth. Directed by Mark Slade.